What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and of course, you guys are my co-hosts. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me in there. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Brother Nate? What is going on, Miss Melissa Scott, Auntie in my head? How are you? It's nice to see you. Golden Goods, what's going on? The Smart Show. Hey, what's going on, Pastor Nate? Um, thank you so much. I was supposed to get a cord and yeah, everything. Uh, so you miss a week and clearly everything goes to shits. So yeah, we got a lot of wellness to talk about, to say the least. We definitely have some politics to cover. Um, Certain things in particular that I want to address, and other things that have just happened that I want to address too. So, if you bear with me, uh, we'll just share some time together and bust it up like we normally do. Now I know the YouTube streets are a bit hot right now, so you know it don't make no difference to me. We not about the numbers, but I do understand. So if you gotta dip on out and catch it on the replay, so be it. Um, it is what it is. As long as you watch, that's all that matters. That's the StreamYard link for anybody who wants to join on up. Brother Nate, of course, you're welcome. I meant to send it to you earlier, but yeah, it got crazy. So let me apologize first off for not for not letting you guys know. Last week I did go to North Carolina. A very dear friend of mine, uh, him and his wife, they're a dynamic team. They did a hair show, and of course he invited me. And when you're a friend of me and I'm a friend of yours, I support anything that you do. So he told me he was having a hair show, and I immediately purchased the ticket. And it kind of didn't dawn on me that it would kind of coincide with me actually heading down there. So I do apologize for last week, but it was fun. Anybody who follows me on my Instagram, uh, you were able to see the videos. And no, I do not post of other people and things of that nature. I just feel like if you want to know, go visit the place or so on and so forth. I do like to keep things to myself. I'm not all about everybody knowing all of your business, just some of it. Um, but anyway, it was nice. I had a great time. So that's all that matters. And then, too, some other things happened too, but that's more of a nightcap situation because I do have some questions to ask everybody to kind of get a better understanding of if it was just my thoughts. So, anyway, let's just do a rundown real quick of what I want to touch base on. I know it's a bit old, but we haven't talked about it. So, therefore, we're going to talk about the Haitian migrants in Mexico with the horses and the whips and all that mess. We're definitely going to be talking about what's going on currently with New York being the first state kind of implementing if you're not vaccinated, being a healthcare worker, then you will lose your job. And they're looking towards the Department of Education to do the same, that if teachers are not vaccinated or refuse to take the shot, um, and of course they're not going to monetize me for this, so oh well. But if the teachers refuse to take the shot, that they're looking to be terminated as well. So definitely want to get your thoughts on that and some other, of course, political things going on in the world. What's up, Rico? How are you? Um, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And if I forget anything or you guys hear of something, let's talk about it. And of course, we're going to talk about the R. Kelly situation, but I kind of sort of want to hold that for a little bit later because my thoughts on R. Kelly may be a lot different from you all thoughts because I'm just like, why are we sitting up here acting so surprised? Y'all let him get away with a whole video of him in faces with his face in behinds and wherever else of underage or grown women or whatever, and everybody thought it was, oh, that's just R. Kelly being R. Kelly or a man being a man. And now it's time to pay the piper, and we're supposed to feel sorry or think that black men or men in general being attacked. No, it's I don't know. We'll get into it. But anyway, all right. Brother Nate, you are ready. I see you give me a thumbs up, so let's get started.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening.
How are you doing? I'm doing fine. And yourself?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good.
You enjoy yourself?
I did. A lot of driving, but that's fine. I enjoy that. It kind of clears my head and gets, whatever. But it was fun. It was really, really fun. My brother's mad at me because I didn't stop to see him, but it was late. And I just felt like, no, like I'm not going to wake up his whole household. And he's got dogs and cats and birds and things, and they all be sounding off. So
the whole menagerie.
Right.
Well, no, he'll never have to worry about anybody rolling up in that camp.
No, not at all. Not at all. With his older dog, who's big as a horse, and then they just bought a puppy who's also big, even to be a puppy. They have a cat and a bird. I think the birds are my nephews, though. But I just was like, you wasn't like this growing up. I wonder when you became Dr. Doolittle all of a sudden. But what have you?
The pictures were nice.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was my first time. Like, I had never been in a while. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, sure, I'll go. But it was nice. It really was nice. I was surprised. I made some friends, of course, because, you sit around me long enough, we become friends. Become friends. You get free food. You get drinks.
Oh, all right. That's the best kind of friend.
Right. Models walking out on tables. You're like, wait.
Oh, okay.
You missed your bill. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but y'all need to get your lives together. But it was fun. I'm just thankful that we did not all come in together. I was there first because everybody else was kind of lagging along. And the waitress did not assume that I was with the group because I was a bit like, that's crazy.
Okay, as long as you didn't get stuck with the bill.
Right. I mean, and if I did, I had it to cover, but I did not. Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that.
You don't want to have to be. You don't want to have to be washing dishes or selling ass.
Right. Definitely down there, no NC. No thank
you. They'll cross the line. Okay.
No, right. Way crossed. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about, because it was burning me up. Let's talk about this Haitians on the border of Mexico and the American / border patrol on horseback with whips. Are we not? Is this 2021?
I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. This is like the Twilight Zone. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's we always talk about how there's two types of justice in the United States. There's black and there's white, but it's a two-type system for everything. It really does not matter. It really does not matter. It's like and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen as much video footage as we've shown the past 4 years with the previous administration of immigrants being on borders and doing all that to get their children across, or this whole thing of people taking children just to get across. I ain't never seen no horsebacks and no whips.
No.
I ain't seen it. Now I've seen the white folks thinking they doing Donald Trump a service by putting on their military gear and taking their civilian selves out into the mountains to police the mountains and bring in immigrants. I've seen that, but I ain't never seen nobody on horseback and no whip.
And I've never seen anybody get stopped at the border like that, pleading asylum.
Right. from a country that is in pure chaos right now.
And well, these people weren't even coming from there. They were coming from South America, where a lot of them had been living, some years there, and they were making their way up. And
didn't you think what's going on?
And I lost my train of thought. I switch. I don't take Centrum Silver anymore because Joe been messing up big time. No, but they've been making their way up from South America. Evidently, someone was telling them that they need to get up to the border if they're planning on getting into the United States, because they were going to, lock everything down.
Right.
And the reason why a lot of them got up there so fast is that they took the bus.
Mm-hmm.
They were buses for them. So it makes me think that, this is another one of those Republican things. We could bus them to DC. So why not, give them a couple of pesos,
right?
And some
and bust them to the border,
and border,
and then go, oh, look what the Democrats are doing.
Yeah.
Y'all talked about what we were doing at the border. Look what they're doing at the border. Rico. I mean, listen. Like I tell you guys, I am not fooled by what is going on in politics. We have to understand that Biden was just a better choice of Trump.
The lesser, just like Hillary Clinton.
Right, exactly.
Okay, it's the same exact thing. Just
it's like they're not going to turn on, how can I put this the most polite way? They're not going to turn on their core values of themselves. Like they'll do some stuff, but they ain't going to really do a lot because at the core of themselves, they still believe in the kind of, we have this, you have that.
I had to applaud you on that one. That was real. That sounded really, really good. Now give us the street version.
Mayonnaise is always going to be mayonnaise. Miracle Whip is always going to be Miracle Whip. And once we realize that, then we can play the game. And to your point, Rico, I wouldn't say not to vote. I would say, one, you have to learn the system and the people in it, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have to learn how to maneuver and make the system work for you. See, for example, and this is just my theory on her. Speaking of Kamala, this is just my theory on her. And I could be wrong, but for something in me tells me, no, I'm not. You play the system and you play the game long enough to where you have them believe that you are in it, that you will do whatever. An actor, right, correct, that you will do whatever. You will play that role to the T until you are able to be the star of the show. When you are the star of the show, you can do whatever you want. Now, if you don't think that she may be sitting, and I'm just, again, my theory alone, that she is just sitting there like, okay, Kill, you want to get the whips? Fine. You want to do this? Fine. You want to do that? Fine. She may have a little issue with it, but she got to play it cool because she riding herself out. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking that day happens and we'll see a whole new person and think, where this woman come from? Because this is not the woman that we kind of saw in the bushes. That's just my theory. That she's just going to totally flip it because at that point, she will be the first of everything. Obama already opened the door. So at this point, if she was to do what they've been fearing a person of color to do in the White House and with the government, you've already had Trump. What more could you, like at this point, there's nothing else to kind of be like shock and awe about at this point because we've already had it. So I don't know. That's just my theory on that. But I do think it's disgusting. It's deplorable. I think of all the people that, spoke out of all the injustices. I heard some people speak out, especially like a lot of the reporters. I was happy to see April Ryan speak out against it. And the press secretary kind of hummed around it, but still never answered the damn question because it looks horrible. But then I'm also very aware that Republicans are like wolves in sheep's clothing. And a lot of this could have just been like, let's really give them something to kind of sink their teeth into. Midterms coming up, so we got to do something. We got to do something to shake the table. I mean, they're already messing with the vote to make sure that the turnout that was this previous election won't be the same. Mm-hmm. So anything else that they can do, and they have no boundaries. So, to think that they have a moral high ground, trust and believe they do not. The people that talk about white Jesus the most and God and prayer in school don't know shit about God and prayer. Trust it. They don't. And that's black, white, purple, green, and whatever. The more they start talking about Jesus and God and love and everybody and all this, are the most hateful, vindictive people, shady, backstabbing. You can go down the list. I mean, it's evident. So with that said, I'm not holding no. I'm not really.
Yeah, just think about it, Rico. Could we ill afford another 4 years of Trump? He was just revving up.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And he would have pulled out all the stops if he had gotten another 4 years. So Biden is definitely the lesser of hopefully he won't make it.
Right. Yeah. The lesser of the two evils. But you gotta play the game smart enough to get in the door. We cannot just make change by just hoping and wishing and marching that change happens. You gotta get in the fight. And sometimes it's not the prettiest of you don't get to wear your dashikis and your fists and hold up your fists and say Black Power. But your moves, though, you're always very aware of where they are, where you are, and where you're trying to take your people. Always. Yeah. Now, sometimes some people have done some missteps, because I'm not saying that some people are great, like Obama himself. This whole presidential library in Chicago. I mean, I get it, but when he from like Hawaii or something, when he down I usually thought it's like your birthplace, but I guess you get to choose where you want to have your presidential library.
That's what I thought too, but I guess maybe because he grew up in Chicago.
Well, I mean, I thought by the time he moved to Chicago, he was already like a grown-ass man.
Was it? Maybe he figured too. Nobody definitely would come to Hawaii. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I'm like the books I read. He was already grown, like, or at least entering in adulthood by the time he was in Chicago and doing all that. But and I say that to say to where they're planning to break ground in the Chicago area will displace a lot of people.
Yeah. It's going to be gentrified. That's the main thing they're worried about.
But that's the name of the game. It's almost like, oh, we'll give you something for you guys to be proud about. But at the same time, they're not going to have those same elements in that area. They're not. They're going to make sure that there's,
no.
more
more of them,
more of their
clear
type,
people there.
More of their type of entertainment and things to make sure that the library always keeps an influx of people and things of that nature. Now, they always talk this game of, it'll bring jobs into the community. How? Because the people would have to be certified and skilled in some level, some capacity to actually get the job. So how is it going to bring more jobs into the community? And then once it's completed,
Oh, McDonald's is going to be there. That's what it's going to
be. Right. Then once it's completed, the people lose the jobs. Then what? I would have been happier with a Trump than a Biden. Really? Okay.
Yeah. Until they come after you.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Until they come after you. Hey, Tanari, right. Glad everything went well. Patty. Yeah. Right. We say her name.
Right. I would give him this much. He was smart not to launch the library after until the Orange. Oh yeah, of course. I don't think Orange would have even let him do the whole library thing. I mean,
no, he would have opposed it to try to block it
right
all the way around. It would have been a big spectacle.
Yeah.
It was bad enough that he did not have the presidential portrait painted.
Right at the White House.
Now, in turn, Biden should do the same thing.
Right.
But you know what?
Biden should have Obama's first, and then wait.
No, what? The same people that painted the dogs at the poker table. That's who should have him, Donald Trump.
Right. Well, yeah, that works. And actually put it outside by a fire hydrant where it should be, so dogs can piss on it. But But yeah, all right. So moving past that, what else? Now I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry, that's my alarm. Let me know to take my ass to bed when it's time to take my, because I will stay up. What else? Oh, you sent it to me. I didn't get a chance to really read it. It was talking about a lot of black women missing.
Oh, the website. What is the website called? Black Girls.
Our Black Girls. Yeah. That tens of thousands of black women have vanished each year.
Mm-hmm. And it's a website that it tells their story. You know how normally you would just hear so-and-so is missing, and then that's it. You would not hear the particulars. Right. That they went to the store, or that a little girl was going to school and she never arrived at school, that type of thing. And this is a list going all the way back to 1910. I mean, for about as much. I've noticed that as you go further back, of course, there's less information, right? Because they just did not track things like that. Right. Some of the women, wow, they were able to find, they were able to close some of the cases. Then, and a lot of the newer ones, the cases are still open. Right. So, yeah, I heard that today, and I went over to the website and took a look at it. And it's when you see the pictures, it really hits you. It really hits you hard. Yeah.
I noticed. Sorry to cut you off. I noticed that it started to be a talk around the disappearance or the temporary disappearance of singer Kelly Price. When they
all the Kellys this weekend, right?
Right.
Now, in her case, she was just sick and she didn't feel like being bothered with anybody.
Right.
know, which is pretty much, and you can understand that if you're ill. Yeah. But some people used it to their advantages to get clicks and view, and and launch their own thing.
Say something, to make you say something and make you respond. So I've been listening, and even on the radio, it had brought a lot of talk about missing women, missing black women, and the years and thousands upon thousands of black women that have been missing and not reported, and the lack of support that the law enforcement community has given
because with this last one, but they pulled out all the stops.
Right.
Yeah. And we never get that.
Right.
And you know what? And you never really think about it unless it's like a local thing. But it made the national news, CNN, and I mean every night it was the same thing. It was like with that Natalie Holloway, the woman that disappeared in Aruba someplace. Yeah. And it was like every night. Right. Every night. But at the same time, you had the black young man that had disappeared. They found his vehicle, found his wallet. Then, of course, they had found his body, but it had not been identified. And you heard nothing. You know, the only time I heard anything about that was when they first said it, the one initial day, the mother came on because she was pissed.
Right.
By the whole thing. And then of course, the body that they had when they ran DNA, they found out that it was him. And that was the last time that was the only time you really heard anything about it. And I think it's ridiculous. They need to put forth the same amount of effort and energy into looking into, our people, brown and indigenous.
As they look into Lily.
Pull out all this stuff. Then he got, what's his name? The dog. That redneck, the dog, that the bounty hunter.
Oh yeah,
you got him down there with his simple ass racist ass self.
Right.
That nigga, okay.
Yeah. I can't.
Okay, now go ahead. Finish your thought. I won't interrupt.
But no, it's fine. But that's what they do, and that's when we have those discussions, and we talk about Black Lives Matter. That is the point of it. That very eclipse the point of Black Lives Matter. They don't matter upon many things. They tried to say he committed suicide. I'm sure. They quick to run with
they could have said it was sickle cell.
Yeah. Oh shit. Pretty soon they're gonna just be saying he died of high blood pressure or the sugars or something.
Or the sugars.
I mean, pretty much they just find anything, and it's so frustrating. It's so annoying to know that people are out here killing us for the fun of it.
Have you noticed how defensive they became when a lot of people were saying, "Well, maybe this was a lynching"? We're thinking it's a lynching. Let's call it like you do, like they do with theirs. Right. They'll say that it was she was murdered or whatever, not even knowing that whatever had happened.
Right.
So why can't we say we think it was a lynching? Because
we think it was a hate crime.
Hate crime.
Right. Just, until evidence proves otherwise, I think it's a hate crime and period, point blank.
Yeah, and we'll just leave it and we'll look at it as that. So that way that everybody else can have their guard up.
Right. Just like if you're going to go after R. Kelly and really throw the book at him as a ringleader of a sex trafficking ring, and you let Harvey Weinstein sit in jail until he decided, I think I'm going to get attacked by COVID and dip on out the back door. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with. I know what's wrong, but
we all know what's wrong.
It's frustrating and disgusting. It is that at a day and age where when I was younger, you thought at this point it would be so futuristic and we would be somewhere closer than where we are right now, to the point where we're just, I feel like I'm in the modern version of Eyes on the Prize. Like nothing has changed. Nothing has pretty much changed. The only thing is that we have these and we can record and we can spread the word on the atrocities that happen to our people. But other than that,
yeah, and now they really don't even want you to film.
Right. And now that's going to be the next one. That's going to be the next one, that you're not going to be able to film.
But you film anyway.
Doing anything.
If they touch your phone is part of your person.
Right.
You stomp a mud hole in their ass, plain and simple.
Right. Hey, welcome, Chesterton. How are you? Real quick, just a funny note to lighten the mood a little bit. Donald Trump. What a character. So he is going to throw his support behind who else other than Stacey Abrams if she runs for governor against Kemp.
He's just trying to burn down the house now.
Yeah, right. Right. You didn't vote for me. You didn't do what I asked you to do. I'm going to get rid of you. Because they necessarily don't think they have a strong enough a Republican candidate to push out of Georgia, that he's considering supporting Stacey Abrams to get Brian Kemp out of the governorship.
I didn't know he had a hard on for Kemp, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, because he feels like, one, he put Kemp in office, and that Kemp owes him. And at first, remember, Kemp was playing to the tune. And then when the money of Atlanta, the Tyler Perrys and the other music executives said, okay, you want to play that game? Continue to play it, and we will take all of our money and go elsewhere. He had to back down a little bit and not be so Trumpian, which caused, because I'm sure if things were different, because he cheated against Stacey, you don't think he would have, but the eyes of the nation was on places like Georgia, so there's not really much they could do to kind of slide some under the table or whatever else they were planning to do. So yeah, he didn't follow through, so Trump wants to get rid of him. So I'm just, I'm not surprised. This is what he does. He doesn't,
Yeah, I wish he sit his ass down too.
Yeah.
Sit his fat ass down.
Yeah. And it's for clicks. He's never stopped running because he likes the thrill of the crowd.
Even throughout his whole presidency, he'd rather just go out and campaign on the road.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like you're the president now. Why are you still out here?
Right, going to rallies because you like to hear people chant your name. It's that whole thrill
the clear people put them in. So
yeah, right. They love me. They love me. So I just thought that was crazy. Are we surprised that the Republican Senate is blocking anything at this point? No. And of course, since they have Joe in their back pocket to ensure that they could hold up some kind of gridlock, why not? Which, there we go. Another, another ops, as they would say, sitting in the Democratic seat for a time just as this. Whenever the Republicans felt like they might lose power, they would always have something in their pocket because they think ahead. These Democrats are just like in the moment. Everything is unicorns and rainbows and gumdrops, and it's just like
everything is bipartisanship.
Yeah,
I hate the way they. Well, I hear from this more from the Republicans when they talk about, yes, and my friends across the aisle. These fuckers aren't your friends.
Right? Right.
They're not your. You're not your. I mean, you know what? Maybe I have it wrong. Maybe they are your friends. Maybe they are your friends because we just say we're going to play these motherfuckers on both ends.
Right.
Okay. We're gonna play them on both ends. You be the good cop, and I'll be the bad cop, because that's what it sounds like they're doing. That's right. And you know what, Patty? I don't think they're going to get rid of the filibuster. They're gonna fuck around.
They don't,
and end up screwing up their chance to do so.
Right. I mean, they don't. Furthermore, modern Democrats or even modern liberals would want to get rid of the filibuster if they knew anything historically about it, because it was created so the southern states could keep their kind of power and their slavery. So, once that all got washed away, they still wanted to keep their little certain things about their lovely South. So they kept their filibuster thing, and, occasionally Mitch Turkey Neck would utilize it, and other even some Democrats sometimes would utilize the filibuster, but I think at this point they should get rid of it. But of course, white people.
And the Dems should be whipping Mitch McConnell's ass like they were riding the horse. Okay,
right? What'd you say? Well, Well, I don't know if necessarily it's this for this president, but I do know that they're trying to ensure that we don't get another president like a Donald Trump that has ultimate power to do whatever whenever he wants. Um, that they're really trying to tighten the power of the presidency, that it does not cause the rest of the nation to go to shits because this person wants to feel like I'm the king, I'm the dictator, and you're going to do what I say. So that's my theory on that. I mean, to me, Biden does not strike me as I want to be the dictator. He strikes me more of I want to take a nap. I want to go to sleep.
Not I want it.
You're right.
I am going to sleep. Tap me in 10.
But I do believe they want to ensure that if they wind up losing the presidency come in the next 3 years now, that they can't get another Donald Trump in office. So I think that's what.
But not only that, because now too, it's starting to come out that even some of the generals,
right, we're worried about. We're worried about what he might do.
Such power that he could cause accidental war, or total global annihilation.
right.
Shooting atomic bombs into storms and things like that. Right. Anytime that they got in touch with, during right after the election, they got in touch with the generals over in China,
right?
To let them know, this is going on, something's going on. So, if somebody you happen to hear something, we're going to DEFCON 4 or some shit like that. Not to jump the gun. That we will rein him in.
But that has a lot to do with picking someone that is measured, and not hot-headed, or someone who doesn't have such a shallow ego like the former president. I mean, I'm sure we don't know, but I'm sure the heightened level of, oh my God, this shit could happen was like any day, because that's all he had to do. And he had the power to do it because he really had a Republican leading House and Senate that if he did want to press the button, Mitch McConnell would have probably okayed it. The House would have okayed it, and we'd be up Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, but then too, they really couldn't do so much, because then the branches wouldn't be equal.
Well,
they would have
were
to be.
Were they equal?
Well, they're not now, and if you learn nothing else, you've learned how limited the president's powers are.
Right. But you've also learned I've also learned the levels in which he was able to kind of bend those limits.
Oh yeah, because they just looked at him. Whatever he wanted to do, and they were like, "Huh? What?" It's like, you can't do that. Sit your ass down. No.
Right, but they still kind of let him. You know what I'm saying? They would say, "No, I mean, I don't think he would." But
see, that was on them, because they were afraid of him. That's like having that boss, that asshole boss, that he's gonna run the company into the ground.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but what about even now though? We're dealing with the same thing. He's still walking around here talking about the election was stolen from him, and they know damn well he just lost. And instead of just saying, "All right, we lost, Biden's the president. All right, let's work on 2024." No, you really gonna have him walking around here with some of the cronies.
What they should have done was took him for a ride in a convertible. He'd have loved it. He'd have went for it too.
No, he wouldn't have, because his hair would have flew. His hair would have flew off. So
we'd have got him a bonnet. He'd have been all right.
A USA bonnet.
We took him for a ride right in the convertible. Make sure he rides past the conservatory. Make sure Melania is dressed really nice. But I don't think she would climb over the back.
No. No, I don't think she'll climb on anything in him. She don't even climb on him. So I don't think she would want to do anything with him. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, your old buddy, the murderer of George Floyd. And like I said was gonna happen, once everything died down and we start talking about something else or looking over here, look over there, look at that. What's gonna happen? He's now asking for a retrial. Do we think he's gonna get it? If he does, we won't know about it. I don't think so, because I don't think they want, they don't want to alert the people and get them all scared or have any more protests. So they'll keep this one under wraps, because since we're kind of still in quarantine anyway and everything's on video, it won't get the same kind of public scrutiny as it once did. Because I'm sure as you sit here now, you thought, what? Did he appealed? I didn't know. I didn't hear that. Right.
He didn't waste no time.
None whatsoever. He ain't been in jail a whole goddamn year yet, and he's already appealing.
Now his other case came up too.
Yeah, the other case with the 14-year-old kid that he did the same thing to.
He did the same thing too.
But the kid passed out. Yeah, he's actually doing that too. He's appealing that as well. We got that, like I told the week before last, the white gangster who went up into the AME church and shot up those 9 people. He's asking to be taken off death row. I mean, it's just like, they get to their moment where it's like, okay, cool.
No, he wants to die for his cause. Let him do so.
He don't want to die. They don't ever want to die for the stupid shit they do. They want to be remembered and fanderized. They want to be, oh, look, he's a great American patriot. They don't want to die. Like that little young thug-ass Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nobody whooped his ass yet? No, because we sitting up here.
No, because he's walking around the streets.
He's walking around the streets. He's hanging out in bars.
You shoot 3 people, kill 2. Clear people now.
And you get water, you get high fives and water bottles from law enforcement. And you're going to tell me that law enforcement is not biased? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're right, Patty. Because this motherfucker can burn big time. It can burn.
I just want to know who's going to burn it first.
I know. It's like you got so many. I was so disappointed. I told you I got snacks. That's why my ass done picked 5 pounds up. I had to eat all that shit. I thought I was going to be glued in front of the TV set watching all these people act a fool again for a second time.
Well, no, to be very honest with you, I knew they were not going to do what they did the first time.
No, but I expected a bigger turnout. And I did expect some shenanigans.
Nope. I didn't expect a bigger turnout, and I didn't expect them to do what they did the first time. Why? Because they always like to prove, it's the same thing like they do throughout history. They always like to prove that what you visually seen of them or what you've heard of them or know about them,
you didn't see
it. Made up. Oh my God, we are not those type of people. That's ridiculous. That's preposterous. That's crazy.
Did you see that? Did you see that fence? They went down to Texas, got part of that goddamn border wall and fell down and put it around that bitch. Right. That's what they did.
That's what they did. But even the military presence, I was expecting the military presence to still be like what showed up through the Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah, and it still
and that still wasn't even to that effect. I mean, literally, Donald Trump had ordered the military to have bayonets placed on their rifles.
Yeah, and that was the first. That was the National Guard, correct?
Yeah, National Guard and some military of that.
Yeah, so that was the first time that we've ever used our actual military against civilians. Okay, yeah,
correct. And the top general said, "Hell no, you will not stand down on that order. You will not put your bayonet."
Well, shit, it was bad enough they were shooting them with rubber bullets,
with the rubber bullets, right? Yeah. that they claim they didn't do yet again. So
rewind. What are we rewinding?
Yeah, right. But I say all that to say, of course, they have banned in school in Pennsylvania. They can no longer talk about the favorites of the civil rights that even white folks, and not all white folks, because don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say all white folks are racist, because they all ain't racist, but they have a history of kind of, forgetting or being forgetful of the stuff that they have done, their ancestors have done, or so on and so forth, whatever. So in Pennsylvania, they are banning talking about Martin Luther King and
Rosa
Parks.
And banned the books.
And I'm sure for
and that one county banned the books.
Right. And they're banning books. So then when we talk about history or the lack thereof, you should begin to draw a picture that it has always been taught a certain way. There's always been things omitted to make certain people look more like, oh, they did such a great thing. Slavery was great. At least they had food and clothing.
And we got to sing Negro spirituals on Sundays, the one day off.
They were raped. They were exploited. We can go on and on and on and on and on about the atrocities of slavery, and including Reconstruction and the sharecropping and so on.
Wait a minute. Get over it. Isn't that what they tell you? Get over it.
Sure, I could get over it when the people get their money. And regardless of what they do with it, I don't care if people wipe their ass with it.
Mm-hmm. I won't be wiping. And I sure won't be spending that shit on Amazon, I'll tell you that much.
Right. Flying up in dicks. I just don't understand the amount of money.
That didn't sound right. Just flying up in dicks.
That's what it looked like.
It was little because it was white. It was a white dick.
We all can be blessed now.
So you should got a big black one.
They would have said he's trying to compensate for something. So, yeah. What else is there? We talked about that. Oh, yeah. So the nurses and healthcare professionals and teachers possibly losing their job if they don't get the jab. What's your thoughts?
I always thought that in the medical field that, that was just one of those things that, was a given that you would have to be vaccinated against whatever was coming up.
Right.
But
yeah, I did too.
So, but then too, that it makes you think, well, what do they know? Because they're right there at ground zero.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think a lot of it has to do with the side effects that they see happening to people.
Yeah, because they had today they came out with women were experiencing during their monthly cycles spotting more severe cramps. I guess for a couple of months or whatever, and they're just starting to gather this data on that. But
you mean the same women that they try to make sure that they control their reproductive organs? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Ladies, watch out! You'll be getting female circumcisions soon.
Y'all be walking around in red habits, okay? Watch it.
It ain't funny. It ain't funny. But I'll tell you one thing.
That's where we're headed. I'm telling you, we're headed to an old what's that?
Texas.
Texas thing.
Texas's neighboring states, their abortion rates
are going up.
Up because they're coming in from out of town.
Out of town.
And some women are because I guess their window of opportunity is smaller.
It's so
You
small.
know,
But some people don't even find out that they're pregnant till goddamn near that time. So I don't know.
When you say, Patty, you don't have that problem. I know. Menopause is a praise and a curse at the same time. This shit's ridiculous.
It's hot and cold.
Oh, sometimes it's more than that. Thinking you're a fucking psycho. Like, what's wrong with you? I just said good morning.
Try to get up and go sleep on the other side and then get up. Because something's wrong.
It's you glad you ain't worried about it? I tell you, they want to block abortions. So what they should do is, in Texas, all eligible young men should have to have a vasectomy. Since vasectomies are reversible.
So they don't clip it; they just clamp it.
No, you can cut and burn, but you can reattach. But then it's still, but even a vasectomy is not 100%.
Yeah, because I'm about to say there's scar. If you burn it, there's scar tissue, so you may not, your swimmers may not get through the scar tissue. Maybe like
no, but they can just, you clip open those ends and they use glue now. They don't use the stitches and all of that anymore. No, just take a trip around the corner. It's so much easier.
Around the corner. No, so that lady, what was that movie? With Macy Gray character, she was it'll come to me. For Color Girls.
I didn't see it. Mm-mm.
Oh, well, you didn't see For Color Girls.
I didn't see that.
Macy Gray's character, she was, the abortion lady in the building upstairs on the 16th floor. Where she was, giving the abortions. Don't nobody want that. We don't need to go back there.
But in the 70s, that was crazy. It was crazy. You were always hearing about them finding someone laid up in the house with an hemorrhage trying to give themselves an abortion.
Wow.
Wow. That's where you would hear the thing about the coat hanger or whatever.
Okay.
And just some of these ridiculous home remedies, stuff that you would take that you would ingest to make you ill. And that's the reason why you had abortion clinics where you can safely go.
Right.
But
but their numbers is dwindling, honey. They cannot get rid of.
No, I want to see the first. Well, they do have one doctor that has performed an abortion since all this has been in effect. So I'm waiting to hear what the courts how they're gonna handle that.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
I would
not
like
throw
to
yourself down the steps. God damn.
Yeah, you were doing all kinds of things to make you lose the baby.
Oh wow.
I mean, a lot of it. It was just horrible. And then too, depending upon where you lived, some states did offer it. That's when, say a teenager would become pregnant. You would either go down to grandma's house down south. You disappear. Go down to grandma's house down south, and you'd come back with a new brother because it was such a stigma in the neighborhood.
Right.
Or you would have the abortion. It would have been private. You would have had a private doctor down there. It wouldn't have been in a clinic or anything like that. But then you can also still use the medications. Right now, there's like a window. I think it's supposed to close like in either late October or November, that you can still use the day after pill and things like that. But these are drugs that have to be administered by a doctor and within his presence.
Wow.
It's just ridiculous. How are you going to tell people what to do?
Right.
You say you're menopausal.
Mother
Would have a baby. Yes.
Wow.
And you'd have a little and the brother the mother and the brother, they were raised as brother and sister.
Crazy.
And I was like, God damn, your mother has more gray hair than me. Where is she? Don't want a baby. You know? And then they would both come back, and then she would continue if she was still in school. Because a lot of times that was the main thing, because they didn't have any schools that would accept pregnant women at that time, because they didn't want to be responsible for the unborn child too. But I know now we have the Paquin School.
They got daycares and all types of stuff.
Yeah, all of that was in there. All of that they had here. It is. It's crazy. But you know what? If you tell men what to do with their nuts, that whole story would change. Like I said, when I had up there last week, close your legs in Texas. Close your legs. Close your legs, the motherfuckers in there. Make those men, have an uproar.
Right.
Because now you're going to have children that are going to fall into the system that are brought here. They're going to be abused from the time that they're born.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Right. Hence the nickname
Sister.
Oh gosh. All right. So the last couple things, R. Kelly. Yeah, I could be on the different side of this, but I'm just like, the hell, y'all sat there and y'all watched that video, his face all in them girls, young and old.
No, and peeing on them girls.
And peeing on them girls, and everybody just thought, oh, that's just him being him. He's a star. What do you expect? That's what they do. He's just being a man, and all the other bullshit that y'all kind of let fly, that when he gets before the judge of mayonnaise, they throw the book at him, and everybody, oh, they doing this to black men.
But did he? I want to hear.
Did he faint?
I was wondering, did he faint?
Yeah, I don't know. Or did he do the? I don't know. I really don't know. But they said he could be facing the max is 100 years. Now, do I think they're going to give him 100 years? No. But do I think they could possibly give him 100 years?
I don't think he'll get out. I don't think he'll ever be able to get out.
Ever be out. No. For the effect, yes. Mm-hmm. If it's close, like 65, 50, yeah, for the effect of, oh my God. Because again, they always throw the book at us while they let theirs,
Hey Patty, maybe you can get him to do a commercial for you. Send Aura down some lube.
I'm sure he's gonna do a whole lot of
some lube and butters.
He's gonna be doing a whole lot of commercial jingles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's gonna be doing some jingling
to make sure it goes on the books.
Yeah, it's gonna go on. There won't be no book.
Yeah, he's dying.
He'll die in prison.
Yeah, he will, unfortunately. But I mean, hey, you've lived the life of privilege, and I think part of me when I heard that thought of how a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us like to emulate what the others do as a form of being successful. Once you made it, you got to do this, you do that. You've kind of follow the footsteps. And I think a lot of that after a while was really following the footsteps of the big hitters he saw doing, the Jeffrey Epstein types and all that.
His enablers,
right?
Because they were involved in it also,
right?
Because they got something out. They were getting money.
Yeah.
They were, getting high, and they were getting men's, and whoever else.
Right.
So
it was really ridiculous. It's sad that you have a talent and that's a pure talent, because that motherfucker can't even read. So it's like
that's the whole thing.
You can't even read and write, but you can sing a song so well. Yeah. The Lord knows you had to memorize it.
So what? I was getting ready to say, what did he do? Have somebody sit there with him and say the words? This is the part. This is the part you go woo woo woo.
The teleprompter just going, and that person just not even just.
Did he ever give any awards?
You know, I
You
don't
know
know.
how when they go up to the podium, they usually have everybody reading off the teleprompter.
Yeah,
Or
I
did
don't.
or
Yeah,
did
I don't think so.
or did he get
If
schooled
he did, they
beforehand?
probably If he did, they probably already told him what it was
No,
going.
you know they did. They put the little earbud in.
Right,
That's what they did. Just repeat after me. You be all right.
right.
Patty, you
And
don't
the
use urine in
those
your.
too, huh?
I was reading Patty. Don't put you. She don't use urine in his. That's okay. There would be enough piss in jail to go
Right,
around.
everywhere.
Especially
Yeah.
now, they know he went after little boy. That he went after boy.
Right. He went after the little boy. Right.
But this is a prime example of hurt people hurting
Hurt
people.
people. Yeah. And that brings us to the wellness section of hurt people.
Is there something left? I didn't think there was anything left. I thought we'd hit it all. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, we
It
did.
has been 2 weeks. Yeah, second week.
Yeah,
Right?
we did it.
Okay.
Yeah, we did hit it all. Hurt people do hurt people, and that's just sometimes we just gotta kind of stop the train and stop the chain, and literally break every chain.
Yeah,
that it is
because somebody should have told him
detrimental.
This is on. They should have told him your fucking career could be derailed. Back then. Instead of them going, oh yeah, but that looked fine. Nobody's going to tell,
right?
Because you are famous,
right?
That type of thing, and allow it to continue to go on.
See,
now what they should do is start indicting all them other motherfuckers. They need to run down the list.
All the people that run nothing's gonna happen to me if I tell y'all. To be like, you know what? On second thought,
to hell with it. I believe in rape and attacks. That you should never have a statute of limitation.
Right? Yeah, because you never know. It's all about mental development. You never know where a person was at that time and how long it took them to get to the place to actually tell someone to go forth and say, hey, this happened to me, blah, 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 blah. That takes a lot. And that doesn't just always happen instantly upon something happening. So I don't think that statutes of limitation should ever be a hindrance. I think they really need to revamp that. They really do. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on
feel like you have a time limit.
He received the award for he believed he could fly. Yeah, I bet he believed he could fly now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet he do. Well, I think he wish he could.
Now he'd be able to practice all the things that he's learned.
Because he's gonna be singing on a lot of mics.
T-Pain, mic up, Mr. Microphone.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
My turn. Yeah. So yeah, that's that on that. Otherwise, what's going on in these YouTube streets? I have been watching, listening, and I will say, because it ain't that serious to be naming no names, but I will say some people, you let people influence you, like at the end of the day, you have to be responsible for you. It's your channel, your panel, or your whatever. At the end of the day, it's your name on it. So when you let people kind of, for entertainment value or for the shocks of numbers, kind of control, it changes. And it changes how people view you. Yes.
You have to break it down for me because I don't participate in this foolishness and shenanigans.
Okay, so apparently, allegedly.
Allegedly, okay.
Allegedly. So in the gist of it, this beach is better. Who I love dearly. She was talking to Miss Vivian. She popped up on the StreamYard because they were having a discussion about, the state of America, Black people, and some other things. And, Beach came up and said, hey, Vivian, I didn't know you were like this. Like, where did this come from? And they went back and forth, and then his name is Stomp Down, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He said some things that were kind of telling in a sense, talking about Beach's kids, saying like, oh, you need to worry about your kids or something like your crazy kids or messy kids or something like that. He said, don't quote me, but it was something along the lines of something about her kids, that when she doesn't mention her kids, how would you know about the woman's kids? She don't mention them. Obviously somebody had to tell you something. So then of course that put in her mind that obviously Miss Vivian must have said something to him, that he felt the need to kind of say that at that moment, which made her kind of be like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? I'm not, I thought we were in a different space. So then no, the gloves are off, and she just kind of went in. And I just felt like that was a bit unfortunate. Do I expect the head fake minister of the ministries to say something about it? No, because as we know from what happened with the debacle of Set Panel, he enjoys all of this and he'll revel in it. He'll talk about it. He'll keep it going, stir it up a little bit so he can make sure that he'll make a coin out of all of this. So no, I don't expect him to be the person of the cloth that y'all think he is, and actually mediate and have a come to Jesus meeting with the people. So I don't see that happening. However, I just think, personally, I think the man stomped down whatever he is, where he was going at Timothy Blank. Yeah, he's funny, but it's like, do it on your own platform. Mm-hmm. Do it on your own platform. And let her platform be whatever it is that she wants it to be. And granted, cool, if you're helping her or helping her get her watch hours or get her audience up, I can't see how, when her audience is the head, I don't even want to call it minister or so-called minister of the YouTube streets. So if she already has that audience, how are you helping her other than you using the audience that she has for your gain? So it's just, it's like, do what you do on yours and let her do what she does on hers. And if nobody comes or nobody thinks it's interesting, it's big enough for, somebody will find it interesting. I don't know. I just think it's, if a friend or someone you spend time with, whether it's behind the scenes or whatever, says, hey, I think you've taken a turn. This is something that I don't necessarily see of you. And then when she even said, well, hey, so this person's talked about me, that person's talked about me, and I've just had enough. It's like, okay, so why aren't you saying anything about these people saying something about you? Why is he speaking in regards to those people that said something about you? Like, oh, so now we have attack dogs? Because if we have attack dogs, please let me know, because I could get some. So I can sit back and go, well, I didn't necessarily say it, but they said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, to me, that's a cop-out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stand your own. For one, I'm not a fan of people attacking people who didn't say anything just so you think, because that person really doesn't say much or is not going to say anything to you, you'll attack them because they seem like an easy target. And it's like, no, I choose who because I'm not that easily pricked where it's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. It's not that serious. But if you get me to address you, oh, trust and believe, I'll address you. I have no problem doing so. But I think it's very much weak sauce, and a lot of people do it, to have other people attacking others for you on your behalf, and you just sit back like, he said it or she said it. It's like, man, grow the hell up. If you can't speak for yourself and say whatever the issue is about that person, if you can't be man or woman or non-binary to to say what it is or what that person has done to you, then how about you sit down and shut the fuck up? Point blank, period. That's just my thoughts on that.
Well, every week there's always something.
Yeah, but then too, right? Every week there is always something, and then every week there is then the next week something could change, and some people are friends. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't get too invested in this. But I do another part that does get to me, and just being a watcher, is the same people that talk about, I would never ever speak to this person. I would never ever. It'd be a cold day in hell, and then they wind up being friends, and you'd be like, oh, is it? Oh, everybody in hell must have on chinchillas because it's cold because y'all is bosom buddies. So, I just, to me, it's just say what you're going to say, go back and forth and just leave it at that. And at the end of the day, if you're going to powwow and, hold hands and sing Kumbaya and walk out in the sunset, then cool, so be it. But please don't make it out to be this huge, rivalry. I can't stand this person. I can't stand that person. And at the end of the day, y'all gonna, kiss and make up and hold hands, because that's just bullshit to me. It really is. So, I mean, and as people always like to say, this is the beef sector. So if it's the beef sector, stand in your shit.
And learn how to beef.
Right, and learn how to beef, right? Because if you did say something, if you opened your mouth and said something and it slipped out, that the person that you told then went back and said something. Because the same thing happened even with old Avalanche over there. When she said something out of her mouth like don't slip or some bullshit she said. And that's why I really don't care for her at all. And, her or her health care aide or whomever. Because she said something like don't slip. And I'm like, well, where'd that come from? And then I'm just like, okay, I've only met 2 people off of YouTube. So let's take a gander. It don't take much to figure out who might have said what they might have said to even let her to say something like that. So it's just like, you know what? Got it. Duly noted. But if you think I'm going to address you or address anything that anybody says or whatever, just because they say it, come on, please. You're dealing with the wrong one. And I think a lot of people get so caught up in this for numbers, clicks, and views that they will keep going. But no, I mean, a lot of times people are genuine and they really like to have a genuine kind of connection somewhat with people. And people, they trash that when they take their confidence in saying something and then bring it to YouTube. But for some people, once you open up the floodgates, that's it. Then, okay, if you want to tell the business, tell this, because you missed this part. And see, that would be me, but you ain't really go there that far for me to really to rip open any floodgates. So I'll hold my peace. But do note, have you ever, because I already know what was said and who said what, but if I ever felt the need to kind of opening that floodgate, I got it. But yeah, as far as this is concerned, it's unfortunate, but I mean, that's what happens when you get people to fight your battles and do stuff for you that you can't do for yourself because you're not built for it. And you're not. If you're not built for it and you just built to be an usher, then just be an usher.
Yeah.
Hey, the church still got to function, don't it?
Yeah, because everybody's not geared for
somebody got to collect the money, honey. Somebody got to collect it. So if you ain't built for it, just be an usher. That's all. Yeah. And on that note, but that's all that's been going on. Oh, so did you have your hand up, or was you just saying hey? All right. But yeah, that's all that was going on.
And then you have to remember also, you don't know these people.
Right.
I can't invest energy into arguing
to go back and forth. Like these people,
like I'm going to see you. Don't let me catch you out in these streets.
Even if I did, and see, that's the thing that a lot of people don't even realize either. It's like, even if I did, if you think it's just me behind me, you're sadly mistaken. And that goes for anybody. You don't know who's behind these people. Just because you see these people and you think they may be, weak or what have you, you don't know who's behind a lot of people. So your best bet, and trust me, from what I know from my family, your best bet is to keep it right here. Keep it here. Keep it cute. As QB would say, keep it cute or keep it on mute. Because, there's people behind a lot of us. So you don't want to, you got to be careful with that. And just keep it. You crack a couple jokes and keep it moving. Stop talking about people's kids. Stop talking about other stuff that don't have nothing to do with the situation at hand. If you can't keep it on person A and person B, and maybe what's around them, their mausoleums, their artwork on the wall,
whatever you see in the camera.
Yeah, whatever you see in the camera
is open folly. Okay?
That should be enough.
But as so-called grown, intelligent adults, why do you bring in family members, children, things like that?
I mean, and then we sit here and talk about how the others view us.
They foolish. They foolish too. Believe me,
they are. I know,
and they're real foolish. To stop, we need to stop thinking that it's just us doing all that.
Right,
hell no! Those motherfuckers out here doing foolish shit too.
Yeah, but my point in that is when they come here and then they erupt their foolishness, kind of bigotry and racism, then we want to be all in an uproar. And it's like, why are you in an uproar? When they're sitting back looking at what you're doing, they just figure they'll fit right in. And then sometimes you cater to it. You only don't cater to it when it strikes a nerve with the majority of the people who follow you. Then you got an issue with it. But you'll sit back and the person will say this, person will say that, and I just sat back like, wow. Okay.
Like I always say, if you don't, ain't that right, Tanari? If you don't give them the bullets, they can't shoot you. They can only hit you with the gun.
No, that's it. If that. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I don't. People be like, oh, why you don't do? You should have done. One of my friends said, oh, you should have done a live when you was at the thing. No, I'm not giving nobody no bullets.
You have to kind of rein it in because you know what you're dealing with.
Right. Granted, I didn't ask. It was kind of a whole thing where I was just watching certain people, and I ended up here. But at the end of the day, I know what I'm dealing with. So those that follow me, even though troll pages that try to, go to my Instagram and ask to follow me just to see what locked underneath there, ain't nothing locked for you to see but my face. So if you don't like it, then don't go to accept me, because you ain't gonna see much. You ain't gonna see.
Oh, they looking for dick pics.
That's on Twitter. No,
Oh, that's why your other account came back up,
You
right?
know, and you know what? They blocked me on my other account on this ZCN TV account. They kicked me out and blocked. So I was like, oh, I guess I can't speak the truth. I guess I can't speak the truth, but I can sling my penis around.
I was gonna say, or were you showing?
No, not on that
Were
one.
you showing big dick?
That, that was just not on that one. That was the.
I get the CCM, but your other one, all right.
Yeah, but my other one is fine. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's just like, what kind of shit?
Yeah, you can't talk politics or speak the truth, but you can show big dick.
Right, but you can be with the buffoonery, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I don't like about all this. Like, you know, you can't speak truth to power, and you can't speak to your people and really be real, else, you know, you don't really get the kind of monetization that the others get when they talk about the bullshit. Not which one.
Which one?
You would have to find that out. I'm not telling, but if you find it, I will accept it. Yeah, you gotta be on the lookout. But yeah, you know, I don't know. These people, but
yeah, but like I said, every week is something else.
Yeah, that is true.
And then it's becoming, it's always a new low.
Yeah.
You know, you're showing up at people's houses, you're stalking them. They can't go to Walgreens or wherever it is.
Or to the Subway.
That Subway or whatever.
But yeah, I mean,
you can, yeah. That's definitely that's Pornhub, and you don't even have to use the privacy setting on your browser.
Right. So I don't know, but I just keep pressing and keep pushing, and you know, keep doing what I'm doing. But yeah, I just wish that just people keep it. If you're gonna crack jokes, just crack jokes and kind of leave the other stuff out of it. Now, I will say some of the stuff do be funny, even though it be a bit like, ooh, you don't say that. But it still be funny. I'm sorry, I still crack up. But not publicly, okay? So you will never know what it was that I was cracking up at. But some of the stuff do be funny, but yeah. That's okay, Patty Duke, and that is fine, and I'm okay with that.
No, but there are a lot of them when they want to. They be looking. They looking hard. It's only going to take that. It's only going to take that one person that's going to lift that picture or whatever. So you know, you be careful.
But that's why. That's why I did the lock and key. It's not
Yeah, just don't be giving all that away.
No.
Because once that dick hit them airways,
well,
boy.
But I mean, that's fine too. I ain't walking around with no shrimp peas, so I ain't worried about what you gonna say.
Hey.
Right. That's all you gonna say. Talking about stuff. That's why they call
it. No, you know what it is? Your goddamn number's gonna jump.
Right.
And I'm gonna send you an email and say, wow, it's kind of busy. What are we talking about tonight? I totally forgot. I have to go back and look at that shit. See what's going on. Oh, wow. Right. Wait a minute. What the? Oh, shit. Right. What is this? Okay.
Where did this come from?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But that's all I got. That is all I got. Mind you, okay, just a preview to what I want to discuss on the nightcap. So therefore, you guys get ready. In talking to someone, do you give gifts on birthday or don't you? And if you do, and they haven't given for you, do you feel some type of way? Just a whole heap of stuff.
Do I give gifts? We're just talking. Are we talking with the interest?
Yeah, like you. I mean,
okay.
Well, for example, for me, I don't talk without an interest. I just don't, because to me that's a waste of time. Like,
oh, we'll see.
I'm not going to even waste my time talking to you if there's not some sort of part in me that's like, okay, I want to see where this goes.
Oh, okay. See, you have to clarify. You speaking in riddles, man.
Okay.
Don't be so all up here. Wait a minute. Where am I at? Where? We'll be all right here.
Oh, okay. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You have to keep it simple.
But I've always been that way though. It's like it's always there's a method to the madness for me. I just don't be like, okay, I'll just talk to you. Like, no, I wouldn't waste my time.
Mm-hmm. And do you give gifts on birthdays, and do you expect a gift?
No. Like, do you give gifts? And if you did not get a gift,
Yes, I do get gifts, and if I don't give when I was materialistic and and an asshole, yes, I would feel some way. But now that I've gotten older, I don't give a shit. I don't give a I give a gift because I want to give a gift, and I don't necessarily have to give you a gift on your birthday.
Right. No, I get that. I get that. I like to give as well as to receive. Sorry. Okay, no, I get that, Pink. Yeah, no, I mean me too. I do. Let's see. I am not, how can I put this? I don't expect a gift, right? But at the same time, if I give you a gift, just accept the gift. Don't ask. Don't go nowhere extra, because then my next thing will be, you didn't give me nothing, so you're doing too much. And then I start to feel like, okay, what do you think this is? Like, where are we going with it? Like,
no. See, I don't even go through all that. I'm straightforward. If I'm interested in you, I will let you know from the beginning. I am interested. I would like to see where this goes.
Listen, that to me, even that's too much. If I'm with you, if I'm coming to see you, if I'm around you, or if I even spend a moment in your space, you need to know that I'm interested. Like, point blank, period. If you don't get that, I am, what that song say? Honey, I'm out the door. Because I'm gone. I can't. I'm not here to sit here and be like, I'm here.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to play games, and I'm not going to sit around.
Like, I'm not doing it. If you can't see that me being present right here, that I'm here, and whatever, I don't have time to kind of teach you that kind of thing. So I think that that's stupid. But it was interesting. Interesting.
Oh no, I'm straightforward. Everything's a transaction at this point. So it's like, well, what's the deal? So. But I wouldn't, now I wouldn't.
Now, see, that's I don't even think. Well, Patty Duke, I wasn't gonna do that, but then my Maryland grandmother was like, "Well, I wouldn't do somebody the way they do that." And I was just like, "Eh."
No, but I would put a cap on. On how much I would, what I give. It would be more of a thing that is, say, if they had a hobby or something like that, something. It's more thoughtful. It doesn't have to be expensive,
right?
But it's something along that line,
right. No, I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, but I am a giver, so yeah, I get that too.
Yes, aren't we all?
Not everybody, and I don't give everything. That's a different story. Let's check that.
We just get a $25 grab bag.
What you grabbing?
Oh no, but if we're not on the same wavelength to see where something goes, it's like no use of wasting time.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you don't see that right away, because people are always trying to make sure they present themselves as what you want. That's why I don't really, people are like, oh, you don't talk that much, or you don't really tell me what you want, because I don't want to tell you. Because if I tell you, then you present to me what I told you I wanted.
No, something like that, I would see if you're paying attention to the things that I'm saying, and you can pick up from that. Because, in conversation, you do give a lot of clues.
That is true, but I've learned a lot of people just don't do that. And that irritates me, so I don't even bother. Because if I tell you something and then you do the opposite, I'm done with you. Like, literally, I'm done. Done. I can't. I really can't. Maybe when I get older, it'll change, but
it will.
Right now, it's like, I didn't ask for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I told you to get. Da-da-da-da. I'm out of here.
That's why cash always works fine too.
When you got cash, I guess.
Oh, well, if you're just dealing with a broke one,
well, but see, that's the thing too.
Damn.
You acting like you ain't broke when you're broke. It's like it's okay to say you broke. Like I'm not judgmental. It's okay to say you broke. It really is okay. Like it is okay to say I'm broke. I don't have it.
Well, you can save.
That's what grown folks do.
Mm-hmm. You can save up for it.
Right. That's what grown folks do. Like being
and
grown.
You can't use Groupon and coupons and everything else.
That's what grown folks do. When you grown, you say, hey, I don't have it. Or this ain't a pay week for me. Or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, or if your money's tight.
Yeah.
But it's the thought that counts.
I can't expect you to be on all the time. I can't expect everything to be right all the time. Because that's how real adult or adulting happens. Things happen, stuff happens. But to always act like, yeah, I got it. And you don't really got it. And it's like, dumb. People can see that you don't have it. Like me type of person, I analyze everything, even to my own detriment. So I'm sitting there like,
yeah, but then you really get disappointed because you see so much.
I know you don't,
because you see so much.
Yeah, because I'm sitting and I'm looking like I know you don't. So why are you continuously lying to my face? Like instead of just saying, you know what, this is what it is.
Hey, Queen Diva, how you doing?
Hey, Queen Diva, nice to see you. I don't know.
So what was the question? Okay, we got all deep and around the
corner. But yeah, do you that? Well, do you? It was a whole bunch.
Do you expect a gift? Yeah, I do expect something. If I give you something,
right? If you
no, I don't really. Well, like I said back then, yeah, I would expect it. But now I was like, if you don't, if you remember, you remember. If you don't, you don't. And then I may not even say anything like for your birthday or something like that. Whatever. Okay. But like I said, I'll give you a gift when I want you to have a gift. It doesn't have to be a specific time. But you will remember me.
Oh, you always remember me. I mean, I am rememberable. That's why I'm captivating, because you never forget me.
Now you pimp yourself, right?
When it's necessary. Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, it was a good trip though. I did have fun.
Very good. Yeah. What the question should be is, what do you expect from a broke motherfucker now?
But see, that's the thing. What I expect even from a broke person is to be inventive and kind of think outside the box.
Very true.
And kind of utilize,
because there's a lot of things you can do
to make it right, to make it special. And I only say that because my mom was not a materialistic person. She had it, but she wasn't materialistic. And my older brother was raised different. So he was the test dummy. We were the spot on, I got this. So that whole kind of whatever you want was out the window. This is what you get. This is your budget. But she always made anything very special, even if it was just the smallest thing. So I've always been a minimalist. It didn't take much. Although people think because of how I'm put together that it's like, oh, it's money. And it's like, no, it's not. It's really not that serious. But to impress me, you think you need to do all this. And it's just like, I don't even need or want all that. I just want you to be you, and you giving me all this extra, and you're failing. You're failing because you can't keep up. So I don't know.
You shouldn't even be trying to keep up.
Right, but I don't know who you're trying to keep up with. I'm confused because I'm just like, well, what are you doing?
Either that or what's giving that person the impression to do so.
So I don't know, but yeah.
Well, have the conversation. Shit.
Well, no, there's no conversation to be had. I'm over other things. Something else that happened. Just real quick. All
right, make it good now.
Okay, so the person was like, "Oh, come." want you to come back. I said no, because it's not really what I budgeted for. I just budgeted to go to the show and then pooch it back on home, or either stop at my brother's if I was that tired, or pooch it back on home. And I was like, well, if you do this, then I could save what I was using and then just use that, and then I'll do that. Oh, all right. Said all this extra mumbo jumbo, and then was like, all right, well, the show's over at 10. Listen for your Cash App. Okay. Now, I don't sit around listening for nothing or nobody. To me, if you're going to say you're going to do it, do it. If you don't do it, you better say, I can't do it or something, or don't even worry about it, because I will proceed with whatever plan or whatever decision I decide to make at that point. Long story short, 10 o'clock rolled around, 10:59. I got a, hey, what's up? Not a damn thing.
Oh, like you never even had the conversation?
Not a damn thing. Not like not nothing. I'm sitting at this after party.
No cha-ching, no.
No, nothing. No, and
then I'd have took my ass on home.
But I was, but that's why I was anyway. But if it had been done, then I would have been like, okay, well then I'll just I'll honor that and turn around. But okay, you didn't do it. Cool, no problem. But from 7 to 10, I expected at least a text. Hey, I don't have it. Hey, da 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 da, blah blah blah, something. Nothing. So at 10:01, I was already over it, and I was on to the. Oh, you want me to come to the after party? Sure, let's go to the. I'll come. Where is it? So that's where I was anyway. So it was just like, I'm not coming anyway. But the fact that you waited till 10:59 to say, hey, was like, the fuck? Oh, see, you don't know who you're dealing with. See, I know I'm not even playing this game. You could take this game, Nat, and you could keep it, because I'm not doing that. Because if we're going to sit here and have a conversation, then you should have been strong enough to say, hey, I don't have it, blah, blah, blah. But
yeah, just straight up about it.
Yeah, but of course, in the kind of going back and forth, oh, I told you I didn't have. No, you didn't. Because if you did, I mean, it's pure logic. If you did, motherfucker, why would I sit there and ask and say, well, if you do, then I wouldn't even have bothered. Like, that's dumb. Like, huh? What is wrong with y'all? Like, does the elevator not go all the way upstairs? I'm confused, because I was just.
Sometimes there is no upstairs.
I'm learning. So I said, whatever. So it was just totally like, okay. And then you get the text like the next day, you still mad? No, I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. I was just annoyed. So when I'm annoyed, yeah, sometimes it gets elevated and I'm like yelling differently from how I talk normally. Like, this is just me just talking and be like, oh, you sound like Michael Jackson. When I'm annoyed, New York comes out, everything, all those kind of come out, and you're like, oh, okay, he's different. But that's just me being annoyed with what's actually happening.
Yeah, I would have just said not surprised.
At that point, I was annoyed. So it was just like, all right, because now you're trying to play somebody for like they're stupid, when clearly the only stupid person here is you, and the gag was up a long time ago. We all knew that you didn't, but it was just like, I just want to see if you're going to be willing enough to say this, that, and the other. Because you're always talking like this whole, oh, this is what it's going to be, like this whole together. And it's like, okay, you're talking all this because none of this moves me at all, because it's just lip service. So I want to see if you're serious about what you talk about. Because if you were, you would just say, yay, nay, here you go, no, you go. I mean, it's just that simple. All the extra is just like, who you fanning for? So I don't know, but at the end of the day,
can't do motherfuckers playing games.
Next.
That's why I'm straight and forward. I tell you straight up. Transactional, man. Transactional.
Just next.
Mm-mm-mm.
But the fashion show was great. Fashion show, hair show was great. Yeah, and I had a good time. I really had a good time.
Very good. I gotta say the pictures look nice.
Yeah, I met some really cool people. It was really nice.
Were they all the same design? Were same designers, or were as they came out in groups? Were those different?
Yeah, they were different. Yeah, they were
Okay.
different designers. Different hair stylists. They all had their own theme. So a lot of the stuff was good. It was really cool. Really
I mean, because some of that stuff was like, oh my god, I know her damn neck hurt.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And a lot of people, it was funny because a lot of people were like, oh, we need a heater out here. They need to get.
It was chilly down there.
Not to me. I mean, to them, I could see it being chilly, but it was just a normal.
Or were they half naked?
Night. No, I mean, people were just really talking about they were cold, and somebody had a hoodie, and he was talking about he was cold. And I'm like, how? Like, it's not even that hot out. It's not even that cold out here. Like, it was comfortable. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say further down. You didn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe we're just.
Yeah, like I was
up here. You're just more comfortable with it because the seasons are starting to change up here now, so it's cool.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It was
not cold, cold.
It wasn't cold. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't.
And they probably get a little breeze.
Right, and was like, yeah,
in between the hurricanes.
Yeah, they was getting a little breeze, like, oh my gosh, we need heat. And I was just like, it's not even that cold out here. Are you crazy? It's crazy, but yeah, it was interesting.
Right.
Interesting to say the least. But anyway, that's all I got. And see, I got you a whole 42 minutes of extra because I only do this for an hour. So.
You say for an hour? You've been hitting 2 hours late. Past couple of months.
That's because I've been, giving you guys a little extra. But yeah, that's usually it.
You be struggling.
I do. And not that I have content, but for me, it's just like I disconnect. Like I just be like, okay, this was fun. Great guys. All right. And just close it.
That sounds like work.
Yeah. Like what's next? Yeah, like see you guys tomorrow.
And run out the door, never look back.
That's it. Don't you want to go out for drinks? Oh, not today.
No, not today.
Not today. Not today. Happy hour? No, I'll wait till Friday. Because that way that's Saturday, and I'm going to come back to the office and see you. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Too, it is warm, and everybody wants to be out and about and floating around and doing other stuff, and you kind of take a break from this stuff.
Yeah,
because winter time's going to come, and it's going to be cold as shit, and you're going to be in the house, so
right,
you just kind of balance it out.
Right.
Say we all come to see you for the Nightcap Friday.
Yeah, you got to. Plus, Antonio went to that party, that lingerie party. Yeah,
did he?
He was there this weekend.
Wow.
Then I texted him, he was like, "Oh, I'm at the party." I was like, "Oh, take notes because I got plenty of questions."
I was going to say, did he enjoy himself?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Did he take the toy box on wheels? Roll all that stuff down there.
I'm sure he probably had a few little knickknacks in his pockets or in some pockets of his. Somewhere.
Hope they wore masks.
Yeah, right.
You know how they are down in Florida. God damn.
Jesus Christ. I even had granted, my mask didn't go with my outfit, so I felt some kind of way, but people were actually wearing masks. I was very impressed.
Ain't anybody playing with this bullshit.
I was very impressed because I really
like I said, the simplest thing that we could have done.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanna argue and fuss over that bullshit.
Right. Yeah, but a lot of the South though, they just whatever. They don't really, they don't really do any of that. But
Is it just because they are the South? I don't know. You say your husband's from Florida. Is he's not crazy like they are down there, is he?
I know. No,
they're kind of frightening.
And I love when I go into other people's chat that I really don't know that well, and then see people that I know. Like I was in Information Man's chat, and then was in, and I was like, "Hey, I know you." I'll be fanning out on my own, on people I know. So, but yeah, definitely a cool brother to check out though. Information Man,
yeah,
yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Florida's always a hot box. Yeah, Pink Edith is a whole mess. Yeah, he is. Edith is a whole mess. Edith pussy. God damn. Goddamn, Antonio. It was good. I see. Yeah. No, it was good. Yeah. Because people always think that you're subjugated to the four walls or the walls of the sector, and you don't get out. I was like, I watch.
Go where you want to go.
You can go where the hell you want to go and watch who you want to watch. Stop letting these people limit.
These people that you don't know. God, like I said, I've never seen such foolishness.
Well, what I think it is, and I'll say this in closing. I think because this is like TV for a lot of people. So you watch this for so long, you've grown to share stories with these content creators. So you feel like you kind of do know them. The
only thing is that you have interaction. You actually interact.
Yeah. But I mean,
with them and the group. So
yeah. Well, a lot of times people just like this, and they enjoy this part, and they think that this. I just don't. I can't buy it. I just feel like if you're going to be there, especially when for me, especially if you talking a whole lot of crap. I
want to see your face.
This I can't do. If you talking a whole lot of shit and you doing this, you can sit your ass, or in the words of the great late Lady P, arse. You can sit your arse over there, cause that is whack. If you can't show your face as you trying to tell somebody where to go or diss them or do whatever, sit your ass down.
If you're gonna trash talk them, it's all fair game.
Exactly.
Like I said, whatever's in this picture is fair game for you to go after.
Right. If you're gonna trash talk and talk shit about people, you better all the time be on camera. Because if you trash talking and you doing this shit,
I hate that. I hate that.
Down, because good and well if you was like this, so you look like something. People could lie to you.
People got tired of seeing them dirty walls,
right?
And all them clothes packed up in those tubs. I mean, pick a corner,
right?
At least have a blank
corner.
Blank white background, white wall. That's all you need in the corner. If it's the only clean spot in your house,
that's it.
Just go ahead and use it.
That's it. And my word would be, or just a piece of advice, try to invest in a laptop so that way you cannot get camera slips from your cell phone. Because it seems like using your cell phone, you get more camera slips, and then y'all be looking like, trolls and shit. Literally like trolls. And, that's a bit much.
Well, the few times I've used my phone, I don't know how the hell you do it. It's so damn small.
Yeah, I don't. I've always used my laptop. I've never used my phone. I'm like, if somebody asks me to come up, to guest or whatever, and I'm doing something else, I may use my phone and use an avatar then. But for the most part, people know what I look like. So it's like, I don't, it's not a thing. But when people are just always avataring and then talking mess, that's one thing. If you, maybe you do a mixture or whatever, something like a Tur King or whatever. Okay, I guess, whatever. But if you like literally just always talking trash and talking shit and
Yeah,
you don't be
and
showing your
you
face.
never show your face. What was that other group that it, the head moderator? You never saw her face. I can't remember the name of the group, but they all disbanded about the same time as everybody else. I was like, damn, what the hell? All these damn things like imploding. Can't remember what it was like. A group of 5 of them, and everybody else was live, and she was the only avatar. And they imploded, and it was like nobody even knew what the hell the girl looked like.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then but then you talk the most shit. Like sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is definitely crazy.
It is. It is cray cray. It is cray cray.
For the rose garden.
Not the rose garden. Yeah, people be like, "Oh, you using the bushes?" I don't do bushes. I don't do bushes. I don't like to be dirty.
You say like you get ate up and they won't be ate in a good way.
Right. I don't do bushes. Don't nobody do no goddamn bushes.
But it is. I it kills me. I mean, the whole panel. It's nothing but avatars. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
But even that though, it's like a lot of times there'd be people that be talking cash shit, but they only do it with the aid and help of other people. And it's just like, but you wouldn't do that by yourself. And then it'd be so many of them motherfuckers, you can't hear what nobody's saying.
Yeah.
Just a yelling, and you just like, I can't hear shit.
I think past forward's too many.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a rotation. You have to wait for the break in between, and then everybody's not syncing up at the same time, so they have a lag, and they may, you're just cross talking the whole time.
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of it's entertaining because that's what we're here for. So it's like, oh, that's funny, or that's funny, sometimes when they go back and forth. But some of it be like, girl, guy, I'm sure you look like the Grim Reaper or Crypt Keeper or whatever the fuck. And that's why you stand behind that avatar. But you talk a lot of shit.
No, the one I thought was hilarious was, what's the guy's name? Simply Trey.
Oh, gosh.
I thought I would die laughing.
It was the voice for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, huh? Are you serious?
At this, I'm like, you got your floor on the ceiling. Is that?
See, he should have turned that desk around to the blank white wall.
Were the walls even white? They look like they was like
stop. No, because I've seen some. It looked like little kids just dragged whole bodies across the wall. I was like, all right. And I was like,
it was just like, the sheet as a curtain. Help them, Lord. Just, but then you got the most shit to say. I just don't understand. But see, I'm the type of person, like, I'm not really going to say anything. Like, yeah, you said, who's that? Who's catchmaking? Who is that? It's like, but you're not worth me actually saying something about you, sir. You're not. You're not.
They say, oh my goodness. Don't say anything to me now. They'll pop up.
Right. Lord, don't you do it like what you do in Candyman?
We ain't doing no Candyman. Yeah, that's exactly what she did. She said,
we don't mention his name in this house.
That's right.
Oh gosh. Was that his real? I don't know. And if it was, God bless the person who was with him, because I'd be done shot myself. I'm sorry. I'd be like, oh, we gotta go.
I mean, I tell you, this internet brings them all out.
But yeah,
it definitely brings them all out.
No, but I mean, there have been some characters. I ain't gonna lie, but there have been some characters. But yeah, some of them. Gentleman panel reload. No, I am not going to be on the gentleman's panel reloaded with King Pain.
You say reload it?
No, I'm not.
And does he have time? He's always busy.
Well, yeah, I hope,
Besides, everybody left on a good note. I said everybody left on a good note.
No, everybody did leave on a good note. I just, everybody has their own style and like kind of work ethic. So it will just be interesting to see how his work ethic works with the group he chooses.
Like I said, everybody should have taken a summer off.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know if that would have worked even with what was being said.
Oh, with everything else that was going on. No,
yeah,
it was a lot of background foolishness.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was way too much for me. It was way too much for me because it's one thing to just be, in a group, but we should all be, if you're going to silent support or if you're going to publicly support, we should all be supporting one another as a cohesive group. And the fact that your disdain for one person clouded all that, you deserve every bit that you got. Now, you could say you don't watch, you don't whatever, but I'm sure them dividends is looking different since you don't have that to fall back on, because that was a constant. This whole you jumping in somebody's business to talk about it and get some views is different than having a constant where you could know that on your given day you were getting, that automatically. So,
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Pink. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much I really do appreciate that. Yeah, but I wish him all the best.
But if you go over to his Twitter page, he'll show you.
What? Who said that?
No, you would say what you just told Pink. And I said, if you go over to his Twitter page, he'll actually show you.
It's locked, so you gotta.
You say no, he won't. Tanari.
It's locked, so you really gotta actually tell me who you are. I just don't want to be accepted. But yeah, no. I mean, I wouldn't mind guest hosting or what have you, or just being a guest on it. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. It was cool for what it was. I really enjoyed just everybody having a different point of view and a different view set on things. I thought that was insightful.
Yeah, that and especially the topics.
Yeah,
because there are things that aren't normally
spoken. Or
discussed.
Even talked about or discussed on any level. I guess my only kind of grievance is that people really got caught up in why is it only men? Why are no women? Why you invite no women? Or why? It's like, how long have you guys been watching the show? There have been women invited. It kind of turned into a big rah-rah, but Heidi Fly was invited to guest speak, and that didn't go so well.
It all depends on who you
invite, right? Natalia was on there representing transgender women in a discussion that they had. So I mean, it was it was, but at the end of the day, the hosts were men. It is what it is. I mean, I didn't know why that was such a big thing. And if you had input, of course you could have emailed or hit up any one of us to say, hey, how about this topic? Or I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would have, felt
Yeah,
some
because
type of way
you had
about.
four separate points of view.
Yeah, about answering your question or anything like that.
Let's see, I can't remember.
Right, that part's not right. It was called the gentleman's panel, not the gentleman's panel on the lady,
Mm-hmm.
or what have you. But yeah, no, I mean it was good. It was good, and everybody who played a part in their part, helped it at some point to manifest itself. I just think one person's hatred of another kind of clouded the possibility, and then two, I had to realize, and I do occasionally, because one of my best friends, she always tells me that everybody does not think the way you think, and everybody doesn't have the same kind of trajectory of where you see something. And some people just like it the way it is, or don't want it to go any further.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to accept that. And
Yeah.
it was just time to accept it.
Change and growth.
Yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah,
people are just satisfied with
yeah,
doing what it is that they do, and that's it.
yeah, yeah. Um,
But I tell you, definitely good conversations. Good
yeah,
conversations.
yeah. Always, always, always.
Yeah. But one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we hit that
And you got me.
2 hour.
And you got me to the two. I'm like,
Uh,
congratulations.
uh,
Right.
okay. Did you happen to catch the View Friday when they were supposed to have Kamala Harris?
Yeah. Now that shiznit was a little bit okay. So first, when they said that they both had COVID, and one of my friends from New York that I grew up that not that I grew up with because I'm older than him, but we kind of grew up together a little bit. He lives in Virginia now, and I had stopped there on my way back, coming back home. And he was like, "Oh, did you watch it? Did you watch it?" Because he loves to kind of like pick at me with the politics.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to explain to him that although it was weird, it wasn't that weird. He was like, "Well, didn't they get tested when they got in the office?" Yes, but when you're dealing with top government officials, before they enter in a room, you're getting tested. They don't care if you're not even going to be around them, touching them. If you're going to be in an area where they're going to go, they're going to test you like 10 minutes before they come in the door. They're going to bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, everybody good, clear. What I think that was, they were going to hawk on her about them goddamn horsebacks and them whips.
Oh yeah, you knew
And
that
they
shit was
knew
coming.
that.
Knew that shit was coming, and
And they knew it.
Sonny
And
was
she
hot
did,
behind that shit.
right. And she didn't want to talk about it. And she did not want to talk about it. So she asked for them two to be removed because, of course, Joy, God bless her heart, she wasn't going to really talk about it like that. Not to go in.
She doesn't have a personal stake.
Right.
And it's
And,
Sonny's
yeah,
husband is Haitian.
right.
And
And
the
right.
fact that he had just lost his
And
parents.
Whoopi stayed her ass home because Whoopi knew that she was probably going to get in.
She's been out for a minute.
She was going to dig
having
into it a
problems
little
with
bit. But she didn't want
whatever.
to talk about. But she didn't want to
Well,
talk.
she was only going to do but so much anyway. Whoopi
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah,
stir
she
the
don't
pot.
really. Yeah, not too much. But she didn't really want to get into it. She didn't want to answer it. Now, the only reason why, even earlier, that I say that this could have been a setup stunt by the Republicans to make the Democrats look bad is just that she couldn't respond to it because it was just that of a wow, we got him. You know what I'm saying? And nobody had time to really like put their words politely and politically around what was happening. Yeah, I'm gonna get to Anna Navarro in a second. So nobody had, because if she would have, how am I gonna word this? Because if she would have said something crazy, more leaning towards the other way, more mayonnaise like.
Yeah, because just the whole visual of that whole thing that's going, the actual visual,
it would have
is
canceled her whole career.
Everybody is so raw.
It would have canceled her
to
whole
see
career.
that in the 21st century.
Yeah, it would have canceled her whole career.
But it doesn't surprise me with everything else that has gone on. So.
Right. But it had to be very very carefully kind of scrutinized. So she already knew that. That's why she said, no, I can't. Not right
No,
now.
what she should have asked is, oh, you still think racism ain't real, bitch?
Right. That part. Because that's what I think that too, because I even sent her that. And I think maybe that's the reason why my thing got closed. I did. I sent her. I said, "Oh, do we still think racism isn't real?" Hashtag at the VP. Her whole face popped up. It stayed up there for a while. Then all of a sudden, then my thing got blocked, and I realized, oh, that could have been it. But no, it was serious. Like using the
because they were really during that time anyway. They were really cracking down on stuff going on social media.
Not a racist country, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag this at VP. You take a look at that. You I know you see it.
You didn't get a knock on the door.
Oh well, I'd rather get a knock on the door fighting for something that's right than get a knock on the door for some bullshit. But Anna Navarro, her clap back at Donald Trump Jr. Oh my god. Oh my god. That shit was hilarious. So anyway, for those of you who haven't seen it, so Donald Trump Jr., of course, you know the ass that he is. He was like, oh, let's pray for Anna Navarro, being that she has COVID. That's really messed up. And she was like, well, first of all, I don't have COVID. And then she said, well, if you want to do something in regards to something he said, she was like, well, why don't you ask your fat ass? Oh, she's like, he said she has COVID, and then the pre-existing conditions that she has, being obese, I guess leaded to her having COVID. And she's like, first of all, I don't have COVID. And if you want to talk about obesity, you might want to ask your fat ass father. And she's like, oh, better yet, if you can't ask him, why don't you ask your sister to ask him? Because I bet she can get to him quicker than you can. I said, damn, burn. Okay. So I was just like,
yeah, because she told him, especially since he had it.
Yeah. Yes. She's like, why don't you ask your fat ass father? I thought, yeah. So, but do I think the whole thing was kind of a thing? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They knew they were gonna ask, because they were going to really press her about these men on horseback with whips beating these Haitians. I won't even say immigrants, because they were just Haitian residents, just trying to get to the border crossing. No different if they was coming from Canada, because if they was coming from Canada, it wouldn't have been that.
No, they just walked across.
Matter
of fact, they just probably just lifted the little gate.
Right, that's it. It's so different. So and all that was polarizing, but I don't think it caught the White House off guard, because I truly believe, and I don't care what nobody says, again, it's my opinion, my show. Law enforcement is full of kind of Trumpian supporters or Republicans that really don't, and they're looking for any way to kind of make this administration and the people who kind of
that's the number one goal.
Bad, right? Look
that's
bad
the
at any
one goal.
So if you can tell them, hey, get on horseback and get some whips and go, whip the people trying to cross the border or come across the mountains or the hills or whatever, we'll do it. Okay. Because I'm saying you wasn't doing that when the Mexicans was crossing. I mean, although you did have them hillbillies thinking that they were going to put on their military gear and do all that.
Yeah, they were riding on down to help.
But they were riding.
No, actually,
in vehicles. They were not on horseback with whips
They should have went down there to hold up the wall. That's what they actually should have been there doing.
They should have been doing with their Kate or with their Budweiser beer cans and shit. So I just think it was on both ends. It was a bit of a setup. I think the Republicans was on a "I gotcha, bitch," and the Democrats was on a "oh, be careful what you say. You can't say much because if you say the wrong thing, this could can us." Midterms are around the corner, and everybody's kind of trying to make sure they get some sort of power, either maintain it or take it. The game is on.
It's going to be another shitty 4 years.
Yeah. I mean,
even though we got some peace and quiet,
Unfortunately, it will be, and especially if the people either don't turn out to vote for midterms,
I see that happening because the Democrats are fucking up big time,
right? Or get so restricted in voting that the turnout is not the same because people can't actually turn out. Either way, then you have a win for the one side where they can then leverage their power completely and nothing gets done. You think this shit is crazy? Wait till you have a shutdown for the whole remaining 2 years of a presidency.
You think you got holes in the street and bridges are falling down and buildings are collapsing and everything else because you don't have people to do inspections and things like that.
COVID being rampant.
And that's another thing too. Sonny was pissed because they broke the HIPAA protocol.
Yeah.
They told their business.
Yeah.
And like she was saying, her husband's a doctor and he was in surgery. They pulled him out in the middle of a surgery.
Wow.
Then her parents live with them, so of course they had to be tested. The kids had to be pulled out of school also. But you don't tell anybody's medical anything.
Yeah,
and to do that on air and say that they tested positive when they just said we just don't like the results or whatever and just left it at that.
Right.
So she was pretty pissed, and like I said too, he lost both his parents to it.
Yeah. And then you could tell it was a setup because there's the whole prompt of the questions with asking the audience questions and all that kind of stuff, because it was like they weren't random questions.
Yeah.
They were literally questions that they were vetted. So they already knew that was coming. Now, whether Sonny and Anna knew it, I don't know. I don't think so. But Joy knew it, and the other white lady, they knew it, that this was going to happen so that they would not be able to press the vice president on the issue of what was going on at the border.
But not only that, when you take the COVID test, I would figure they would have taken it early enough that morning that they would have had the results back, because you don't know who comes in contact with who.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
They were actually coming in the building,
right? They would have taken the rapid test. That's why I didn't. That's why I thought that was a bit weird when he was like. Even one of my friends was like, well, don't you think it's weird? I'm like, but they would have gotten rapid results because they don't play. Like when you're the top tier of the ticket and people are going to be around you, they don't play with top security, top level officials at all. Like you get tested before they walk in the door. You get tested after they leave. You go through a lot of it. So for them not to know and then play that whole game of, oh, let's go to commercial break, we're still going to find. No, y'all knew this was the setup. So, she wouldn't have to answer the tough questions. She did a Donald Trump. That's all it was.
Yeah.
She did a Trump. And because Trump had already done it, you open the door and let it happen. So,
Yeah,
at the same time,
just keep calling them out on it.
Yeah, when we don't
and let them know that it is unacceptable.
Yeah,
we have put up with that foolishness for 4 years. We're not going to put up with this shit no more.
Right.
For another 4 years, especially for the people that we put in the office in the first place.
Right. You always have to question your elected officials. Like, just they don't get a
They
pass.
are tools. They are tools to be used.
Right.
And it should be a lot easier to get rid of them once they start. When they don't do what they're supposed to.
When they don't do what they're supposed to. Right. And you find a replacement. You just don't not vote. And then therefore, the worst of them to get in. No, you make sure you find a replacement to be like, okay, who's going to replace them? Who's going to replace her? Who's going to replace? And
now, I personally, I don't have problems with assassinations. It's just quick and easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all that voting and all the rest of that kind of shit. Just who's next?
Some people, you won't even have to go through the assassination. Just put some dish soap on the floor.
Well, that's most of them. They break a hip. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Like Nancy Pelosi, like 80-something years old. You're like, girl.
And put time limits on these time limits.
Right, but that's the thing. But it's about power. Even though they talk about putting time limits, they don't want time limits on it because they like the power. Because at the end of the day, the majority of them are white. And I don't care what nobody says. We can sit here and talk about race all day and that's not necessarily true. It is. We need to just face it up. The people at the top or in the structures of power are mostly white.
Yes,
Some
and they manipulate everything.
Democrat or Republican, they are white. And they only allow a certain level of kind of intermingling, mixing to a certain level. But they don't take it all the way to the ticket.
How did we miss the story about Joe Manchin's daughter? How do we forget that one?
Oh, yeah. That's because Joe Manchin is an ops, and he's always been. So I'm not surprised with that. Oh, sorry, excuse me.
That's double booty call. Ha!
Yeah.
You working overtime tonight. Even had to put on the avatar. Like, look at that. And cut the sound off. You know that's booty call. Guess his page will be taken down again. Yeah, but let me tell you, Joe Manchin's daughter. Why you got that shit eating grin on your face? What are you talking about? What's going on? Yeah, Joe Manchin's daughter, real quick. Joe Manchin's daughter was the president of a pharmaceutical company. What is for the Epi stick?
Yep.
And I know all of you heard on the news about when the Epi stick went up to like $700 because they caused a artificial shortage. And that was his daughter that did that shit.
Right.
Causing people to buy Epi sticks. They come 2 in a pack. They used to come single. And the 2-pack, which only lasts for 9 months. Shit, I lost my train of thought. The Epi stick, they only last for 9 months.
Right.
And you only get 2, but they cost $650 a pop. So if you have a kid or you're allergic to something,
right,
you would be kicking out, some serious bucks. Where normally you would get the 1-pack, and that was like under $100. So she inflated all of that. She did all that shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, when I kept reading that, and then I would read it pop up again. I'm like,
but you know who did that? You know who pulled that story out the ass?
Chuck
Schumer and the rest of them. Like, you want to keep playing shit? Okay.
Yeah, and they should have.
They should have done that a long time ago. Because he's been doing that. He's been playing the side.
Because
he's just been there for the Republicans.
Because they didn't manufacture the actual drug. They manufactured the delivery system, the actual injection pins. So you created a whole supply and demand chain. It was crazy. And his daughter was ahead of that shit. That shit was crazy. Crazy. No nonsense. I saw your question about the
what was the question?
The mayor up in how do you feel about the mayor of New York saying she's going to bring in the National Guard to help with the people who are about to be fired, the nurses, at the hospitals, because they don't have their shots.
Well, what do you mean help? Is she gonna bring? Is she gonna bring the National Guard?
I guess they're gonna have to
replace.
Replace.
I mean,
I don't think they estimated that it would be so many people that hadn't had it. That's what I thought we were going before when we were talking about the nurses and stuff.
I of course they're going to do that, but do I think that if the other states start to implement that, do we have enough National Guards?
No. No,
medical personnel to cover? No.
No,
Will
what
it
they're
be a whole
what they're
shit
going to
show? Yes.
yeah, it's going to be
They're
a
not
shit
gonna
show.
do it
And what
like
they're doing here is that they're offering nurses that haven't finished school yet. I guess you have to be so, maybe you
right.
have maybe like
Close
6 months or
yeah.
whatever left. They would go ahead and give you your certification and everything if you helped out in the field.
Okay. Well, I guess it's something.
Mm-hmm. Either that or they would just postpone that mandate if you have too many of them leaving, because you have some people, and you have doctors and things that are specialized in certain areas. You can't afford to do it. You think you had a problem before. Suppose you have a neurosurgeon.
Right.
He don't want to take the chance of taking that shit because he
might. You had a Ben Carson.
I have some heroin for his ass. I think he done been in that shit already.
Overdose him?
Big time.
Night, nigga.
Big, yeah, real night. Yeah, but either that or she could just postpone it. Yeah. Because I thought that was a crazy move anyway.
Yeah, I mean, again, everybody's trying to, please the king. So and Joe.
Yeah, because he was taking his booster on there. If that motherfucker had killed over, I'd have been done. Yeah. Now, what are you going to do? Every time you turn around, you get a new variant. You're going to have to get a booster. You get to get another boost.
Yeah,
they need to work on the nasal spray or some tablets or something.
Yeah, something like a Family Guy. Remember what you call it? He was like, I got to take my AIDS pills. He's like, AIDS on. It'll be like, sir.
Yeah, because that's definitely going to be a shit.
And lastly, get your stock up on your Moderna. I'm trying to tell you, get your stock up on your Moderna. They like at probably like $50 some odd or some odd to get you a share. Get your share up.
How much is it? A share?
About $50 some odd, I think, since it happened today. They about to start implementing their HIV preventative medicine. I'm telling you, these kids already taking them things like they Skittles. Get yourself up. Might as well make money off these mofos while they making money.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're making money off of it.
Let me see, because I follow that closely. It went down 6% today.
Oh, don't worry.
I know.
That's why you don't even watch it. You just let it ride.
Okay, well, it's really up now. It don't went up. It was at $60 a share. It's at $3.84. It don't went up the last time. Jesus, and it dropped 6%. But yeah, Pfizer is still at $43. $43.04 a share.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pfizer hasn't moved that much, but Moderna is moving like nobody's business. But yeah, so that's all I got. You guys have been great. Love you guys. It's always fun. Tuesdays are like the best days ever.
Yeah, till you hit that button, click.
But I still love you guys. I just don't do it personally in my face. Right. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Of course. It's never nothing to take lightly. Trust and believe. We don't dance around it lightly. Again, that's when knowing your history and those who contributed in the history matters. It's like you don't always have to speak about the atrocities and things that people have done, but you know what you see and when you see it. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Jess, how you doing, girl?
Hey.
He's rushing us off now. It's that phone call.
You know what? I'm not.
But you know what? Go answer that phone call because winter is coming. Ha!
You know what?
It's true.
It's always summer around me. Thank you.
It's always what? Summer.
It's always summer around me. Thank you.
You better get some winter.
I don't like to be cold.
That's why you need to get some winter.
No.
You need to button that.
Thank you so much. Miss Hutchinson. I heard that you was from the area, or you lived in my area at some point. We need to conversate, not on here, because you might know some people out here where I live in these boonies, doonies.
Just we always figure you're hovering in the clouds. Sharpshooter.
Yeah, no
That's a
clouds.
sniper.
She's in the balcony. She's just
Mhm.
in the balcony chilling. Just in the balcony. Not winter. It's coming for
Kevin Samuels.
Wow. It's crazy.
That's right, because winter is coming. We don't want you out in the cold like Texas because the motherfuckers gonna freeze.
On that note, I'm out of here. We're not gonna go here with that.
Just make sure you got your long drawers.
I don't even wear them things. They make me itch.
Oh Lord, you got something with everything.
I'm picky. I can't help it. I am picky. I can't help it. But in that note, everybody have a great night. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us, with me, with everybody in the chat, and having great conversation as we always do about life, politics, and YouTube shit. All right. Love you guys. And until next time, peace.